Hi there, I'm Patrick Hebert. I'm the COO of ECI Development, and I'm here with Peter Illavsky. And well, Peter, I'm going to actually ask you to explain yourself and who you are.
Hello. Hi, I'm Peter Illavsky from Vienna. Great to meet you here. I'm a musician, I'm a singer. It's my first time out here in St. Pedro, and it's absolutely amazing what's happening here.
Can you tell us a little bit about the purpose of your trip to Belize?
Yeah, it was quite interesting. I met some time ago. I met Joel because I didn't know that I was teaching his daughter in Vienna. She had in our institute. She had music classes. She had voice lessons and piano lessons. And then one day they met each other and talked. And he and his wife, they mentioned me about a beautiful place in the middle of nowhere, which is apparently very nice and where people like to do music. So I thought, well, where could it be? And I said, yeah, it's some of the Caribbean islands. And I got more interested. I've never been in this part of the world, and was imagining doing there some music would be great. So we had the idea to make a music week in Belize. Belize city, so that made me to come up here for 1 week and meet the local musicians and to organize something creative with them. We want to now to form a group where we'll also have music playing together, and then we can go on a tour and present the Belize music everywhere else. It's beautiful. It's really, it rocks you.
The Joel you mentioned, Joel Nagel, is one of the founders of ECI, and he was instrumental, him and his wife, and your daughter taking lessons from you and getting you to be here. So I just want to, from him and from all of us, just want to say thank you very much for being here. It's a big event for Belize, and I'm sure it's not so bad for you either, in the turquoise water and the white sand. And
yeah, this is really paradise. Wonderful.
How did you get started in music?
Well, I actually was born into music. My father was opera singer, so I was surrounded by music. I started early with playing an instrument, the violin, and then in Vienna there is this boys' choir, Vienna boys' choirs. So they travel a lot, and I heard they are traveling, and I love traveling, so I did all these entrance exams. So I was there with the Vienna boys' choir singing on the world, touring, and so then I stick with the music. It was actually never work for me. It's till today, it's fun for me doing music. Music brings people together. When people do music, they have fun usually, and so there are no discussions. It's a good time always, party time.
That's great. Who were your early influences in music?
My influence, well, of course, as I said, my father was my biggest influence. Then, of course, all the surrounding in Vienna. Vienna is a very musical town. You meet so many artists. You come together. You learn. I had so many teachers of the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. I'm so thankful to them. I even had one teacher. He was the founder of the New Year's concerts in Vienna, which take place always the 1st of January. It was great for me to be sort of at the source of the classical music. And this is what is in my heart, and wherever I go, I want to bring the people together by doing music, living peacefully together and creating something beautiful, something even more beautiful with music.
It's great. You mentioned that you like music and you like to travel. Whereabouts in the world has music taken you?
Okay, so me personally, I lived in. After I finished my studies, I lived in Verona. There's a huge outside opera, the Arena. There I met for the first time in my life to work together with Pavarotti, with Domingo, with Jose Carreras. It was quite a great thing for me. Then I got a contract to perform in the Opera House in Pretoria, the National Orchestra. So I signed this contract and I stayed there for 3 years, which is a beautiful part of the world. Then I got my next contract to be a teacher at USC in Los Angeles. So this was quite a big move. So I stayed there for a while, getting involved in studio gigs with Barbara Streisand, with Chicago, with the Disney studios. It was actually wonderful. I still have there's some work to do. And then this brought me to Spain, where I lived in Granada, worked there in the orchestra, and afterward 3 years right at the sea in Malaga in the Philharmonic Orchestra. And then I started to become independent, and I formed my own music festivals, and I opened my first private music academy in Marbella, and this then later led me to Germany, where in Dresden I opened 12 years ago the next music institute, which is quite a big success. And 2 years ago this brought me back to the roots, back to Vienna. So there I am, back home.
So you mentioned opera and obviously the classical music. What are your favorite styles? And who are your favorite artists these days, other than yourself?
No, I was just, before I came here, we had an opera production of the Parsifal Wagner in Baden-Baden with the Berlin Philharmonic with Sir Simon Rattle. I mean, those people, I love them all, you know, they're great. Next week I do another opera with Cecilia Bartoli at the Salzburg Festspiele. I mean, she's world great. I'm happy to perform with all these people. But I'm also very happy, I just remember when I was in LA, I studied with the voice teacher of Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston. That was great to find out that his teaching is sort of rooting in the classical music.
So if you weren't a musician, what job, occupation do you think you would have had?
I think I would somehow be on the beach and sell coconut or something.
Well, you come to the right place then.
Yeah. Maybe my next job.
So what have you thought of Belize so far?
Wow, it's quite impressive. First of all, when you arrive at the airport, you think like, wow, this works. But yeah, it works. It's so humble and it's easy, everything there. And the first day they showed me the Mayan, this excavation. I mean, this was beautiful. Then you see all these different languages and cultures living together. I really like that. And of course there are bananas, coconut, watermelons everywhere. This is so healthy anyway. And you don't see sick people. You know, they're all healthy. It's great. So a very relaxed lifestyle. It's similar to Spain. You live with the sun, you know. What other problem should you have?
I know you brought, I believe you brought a violin down. I mean, I think you...
Yeah, we brought from the Music Institute as a present to the foreign minister of Belize. It was presented to him a beautiful violin from Austria. Yeah, I can send you some pictures from this later on. And they really liked it. And we will do more exchange, cultural exchange between Austria and Belize, definitely.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Like, what kind of exchange do you do? And you've been working with the kids at a musical school here, and I think you might have a bit of a performance coming up or something like that.
Yeah, we're going to set up various centers in the 6 different districts of Belize, where also the teachers can become independent teachers and where they can live on their own, so they won't need a subsidy, because in an old system the government has to take care of that. But nowadays everything is modern, so they can make themselves a living, and so we teach them that how it will work, how they can become also successful by touring around, by doing chamber music, by appearing at weddings, at party gigs, and to have fun by doing the music.
That's great. What, if you had to pick one thing, what one thing has stood out for you most in Belize?
In Belize? Actually the watermelon juice.
Watermelon juice.
I love it.
Well, you could probably bring that back to Austria too.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to thank you very much, Peter, for
thank you so much for
joining us and for everything you're doing for the country here. I
Thank
really
you,
appreciate
all
it.
the best and good luck.